Oh my goodness. Look at this little cheese pool. Hey guys, what's going on? It's pizza night. Like any good home cook, I'm gonna try to make my own pizza dough. I've done this a few times, with a little bit more time to actually prep it and do everything that needed to be done and then to let it rest, but I was kind of in a rush. We ended up going out this weekend and for the first time for a while because, obviously uh, haven't had a way of going out without getting an Uber. But now that we have a car for a while, we're actually able to go get some errands done. But I was told put a little bit of something sweet in your yeast mixture with the water when it's warm for it to feed on. So that's what's going on. Just a packet of dry active yeast, some warm water, and a little mixy mix. Once again, I'm not a baker, and you've been warned. But for my crazy day, we had to get something that the best friend has never had to buy before. It was kind of crazy, but we got a suit, guys. We got an actual suit, and we found one that actually fit his body type and his chest and everything, which was an actual breath of fresh air. I guess I've gotten so used to people giving me such crappy service at places that I feel genuinely shocked now when they're not. They're not little dickheads. They're actually helpful. But yeah, we went to the first place and the guy, he measured him and he was getting stuff ready and we told him like we need a suit. We have a wedding we're going to, and they were like, we're going to be honest, we don't have that specific measurement size. We don't carry it in stock. The only way we'd be able to get it is if we custom ordered it, and that takes 6 weeks. He's like, so I'm going to highly recommend that you go over to this place over here and go inside. They have suits. They should have your size and they'll take care of you, basically. And we're like, all right, thank you very much. And so, of course, he's always stressed because it's one place struck out. But you guys have been shopping before, especially for stuff like that. Anyways, I'm kind of following a recipe this time. I should take a picture and post it somewhere so you guys can see what I'm actually looking at when I'm looking at my recipe card or whatever I'm reading, especially when it comes to baking. I actually do try to take notes and write it down. But I'm actually reading. So, flour with the salt mixed in, and we have our super foamy. Look how much this like puffed up. That's the yeast. That's cool. I think it's cool. And then presenting the whole mixing series. So, the recipe said just to throw it in and mix it until it was a shaggy dough. So, I'm actually using a wooden spoon this time. I'm not trying to use a whisk. Hopefully it gets better. So look at that. That looks okay. Throughout this entire thing, you'll see me kind of cracking up and trying to convince like trying to convince myself and mix that it's okay. But obviously, I'm not 100% convinced. I'm just wondering, like, did I put enough water? Did I put enough flour? Is this what it's supposed to look like? I can't remember in the recipe. It did say shaggy, and this is kind of fluffy. Maybe not. Maybe I need to spin the bowl and mix it. I don't know. We will see. But, yeah. Give it a good mix. See, like, that doesn't look too bad. That's what it said it should look like in the instructions. So, getting one of my plastic cutting boards here, and it said to flour your surface. So I'm going to flour my surface because that's what the directions said, and I think I kind of remember what it's like. Oh, geez. Um, yeah. feeling a little bit nervous about this. Yeah, it's so sticky on my fingers. Oh my gosh. This is me going, okay, how am I going to get this to form? If I dump this on the cutting board, it's all just going to flop everywhere. So maybe I can like smash it together while it's in the bowl still and kind of like do a half knead before I pull it out. And yeah, Mix is asking me what I'm doing, and I'm trying to convince myself to trust the process. It's okay. It'll be fine. Obviously. Oh jeez. Anyways, so I'll let you guys watch this, and we continuing my story, we got the we oh gosh. We we went to the location the guy told us. It was at the mall, and for some reason this store is the only store at the mall where you have to enter from the street, but it doesn't have a door leading inside of the mall. Every other business or whatnot has, they have the door on the outside that you can get in through the street, and then they have a door going into the mall. Well, this one didn't have that, so go figure. Read the sign. It says mall entrance, over here to the right and over there to the left. So I'm like, okay, maybe we have to go in through the mall entrance, because the door that we were at it didn't look like it was, it was kind of scuffed looking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it didn't have like a sign that said enter or open or anything, the usual markers of you were supposed to use this door to get inside the store. So we walked around first for a good minute and walked in a circle and realized, okay, this is not it. Maybe that was the door. So finally made it inside, went back to the front on the street, found the door, and made it, and after a nice little walk around the block, but we 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 got inside and ended up finding everything that we needed, and the associate was super nice. He was so sweet. Super helpful. I will say, guys, maybe this is just me, maybe this is just my area, but there's some days where people genuinely seem so upset that they have to help you. And it's not something that like I could go and do myself. Like, sometimes you're at a restaurant and it's got a soda fountain, and you can clearly walk up to the soda fountain and just fill it up. Like, everybody's there doing it. You're in a paper cup, no big deal. Like, no, this is stuff where it's like, hi, can I get a fork? And they just like glare at you for, how dare you ask me for a fork? Don't you know that I am an aspiring artiste? Anyways, my nice little hard ball of dough here, though, guys. And recipe said to oil it and give it a couple pats of, reassurance that everything's gonna be okay. Oil it, cover it in a bowl, the whole shebang. I have olive oil here. For some reason, when I'm pouring it, it comes out so slow, and I need it a little bit more. So, yeah, this bottle's a brand new bottle, and it pours very, very slow, which is good, so you don't over pour and you don't waste, but I'm definitely used to stuff just kind of glugging out. So oil the bowl, oil the ball, the ball in the bowl. And yeah, I think it looks somewhat alright. I don't know, guys. It's just for at home. You want to know the truth of this? You want to know a secret? The only reason why I decided, I should clean this up, but the only reason why I decided to make pizza was because, remember when we made beef stew a few days ago? I put away half a can, well, probably a little bit more than half a can, of tomato paste, and that tomato paste has been staring at me in the fridge, and I thought, I could probably use that tomato paste and make like a pizza sauce. So that's where this all came from. This came from that stupid little can of tomato paste see, look at that. I have that little can saved. I put the plastic wrap in it so that it wouldn't oxidize, and it keeps everything fresh. But we're gonna use this whole onion. Half of it is gonna be used for the sauce, and the other half we're gonna use for topping. So we'll start with the sauce while we let our dough rise and rest and all that bakery thingies. Dang, that's a tiny little onion. But so then yeah, that was kind of our like the big thing of our weekend as far as we need to get this suit. We had a really great experience, and I'm still thinking about it like, wow, guys, like the whole shopping experience was not horrible. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys have had problems like this with people. I do like to give attaboys, though, when it comes to great service or good service or someone just like, they genuinely are trying to do their job to the best of their ability. So, yeah, I did leave them a review, which I have onion in my eye, and now it's making me cry. So, yeah. But I did leave them a review, and now that I don't think it means anything necessarily, but it was a little goal I set for myself. I got like a Yelp badge for elite. I think it just means like verified. Yeah, don't mind my faces as the onion's making my eyes water. But see, there's that tomato paste where it all started. I put some warm water in there to kind of help soften it up while we get our pan ready for the sauce. But I did leave them a Yelp review. I left all the places that we went to a Yelp review and kind of like a response on how they did and whatever. Like I feel like people should be commended when they do a good job, and the fact that we were still talking about it after we left and it was a good experience, it was worth it. So we got our tiny little onions here all minced up. Nothing to waste here. We're going to put everything in, and with the olive oil we're going to kind of give these a little saute, soften them up before we add in the tomato paste. Somebody said they liked the pan close up, so enjoy this beautiful sizzling pan of onions. As I sit here, I realize that I don't usually put audio from when I'm cooking just because 9 times out of 10, someone else is talking in the background. And as much as I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind to hear it, I also try to pretend like we're not in a small apartment where you could totally hear everybody's voice from wherever you are. But no. But yeah, I don't know. We have a nice little music audio going on. We can change it up. Is it time for a change on the music? Who knows? I'll take a look. Maybe I'll change it later. But I kind of like this. I've added some salt and some Italian seasoning, basically, and we got some of our tomato paste here. I'm gonna add a little bit more water to this can, though, because clearly not everything is coming out. I'm trying to get everything. I don't want to waste anything. And this is kind of just me going off of the generic recipe that I found online when it comes to pizza sauce. There's just a few key elements. I didn't have all of the elements, so we're just going to make do with what we have. So instead of having a tomato sauce and tomato paste, I just have the tomato paste. So really trying to get that out because this is our leftover can, and I think that's like a lot of tomato paste. And the thing with tomato paste is it's so condensed and so thick that you just keep adding water and it'll thin the paste out and it'll become more like a sauce. Plus the flavor is really good for some reason. I think it's something to do with like the way they make tomato paste is that it's super condensed, and they use a lot of the skins, and so you got a lot of flavor going on in there. But see, that's starting to look a little bit more like a pizza sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic to this as well. I didn't bother chopping garlic. The whole shebang of doing the dough was already enough. I was like, we can be a little bit lazy. Oh, and some pepper flakes. Red pepper flakes. Yeah, I'm not gonna put too many. I like a lot, but if I do that to pour mix, I might kill him. So I think I can just add red pepper onto the top of the pizza when it's done versus in the sauce where you can't escape it. Also, it mentioned that you should put a little bit of sugar in it as well. So sugar, salt, and tomatoes. Very umami combination when you think about it. I think the sauce is a little bit thick here, so I'll end up adding some water to help thin it out and just kind of build that up a little bit. Now that we have all of our elements in, we have all of our flavor stuff in, we're kind of just getting to the point where it just needs to rest a little bit, let the flavors kind of combine while we get the rest of our toppings. I feel like it's just a little bit thick still. I'm gonna add probably just a little bit more water to this. I'm trying to think of how when you go to a place and you're watching them make pizza, what the pizza looks like or what the sauce looks like, the consistency of it. And so we're just gonna make it a little bit more thin. I feel like it's just a little bit too thick. And it's gonna sit here for a minute. Not necessarily on the heat, but just sit here. So yeah, that's not bad, right? It's probably better than the stuff from a jar because I know what's in it. You guys want to hear a story? When I was little, my mom used to get those pizza kits, and then we get our own veggies and stuff like that. And I was like, dang, this is so cool. Why don't we do this all the time? We didn't eat pizza very often. It was like once in a blue moon. I don't know why, whether it was because they didn't care for it or if it was just not enough food or something like that. But I remember thinking like, wow, this is so cool. We can do our own pizza at home and stuff. We just buy the dough. And I feel like that's a big part of everyone's childhood of getting those kits where you have the dough already par baked and you just squeeze on the sauce from the little sauce packet thingy. Oh, see here. I'm now I have time for some garlic. And I peeled these and give these a little bit of press again because I'm feeling slightly lazy. But yeah. I feel like everybody's gone through that kind of pre-baked pizza crust. Until I learned that you can make your own pizza dough, but we didn't have time for that. We didn't do a ton of baking at the house because we lived in manufactured, and the area we lived in was extremely hot. So yeah, I'm going to make a little bit of garlic flavored oil here. Just throwing some of our olive oil into the wok, and then gonna gonna toss in the garlic and let that kind of lightly fry for a minute and just get the flavor going for that. And I'm like, this is just to brush the crust and everything like that. I love garlic, so obviously had to add more garlic to it, and I figured this would be a better way to add some flavor to the whole thing. But don't want it to overcook, just want it to get just enough to open everything up, and then we're going to set that aside, and using that exact same pan, because why not, we're going to put in these onions that we sliced and kind of caramelize those because they're just brown onions. They're nothing really Nothing really fancy. Obviously, just using what I had in the kitchen to try and use it up without having to buy extra. Because I could have bought a red onion, but I didn't want to. Oh, yeah, so Kroger brand. We have some leftover baby peppers in the fridge. And we got, last night we picked up some pepperoni and this pizza blend cheese that I got. And yeah, Kroger brand, it's kind of on the more affordable side. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I feel like everybody has a Kroger or their version of a Kroger store, or what do they have them? They have like Albertsons or something, or yeah, every store brand has their own version of a Kroger brand. I don't know. I'm undecided if I really like this brand. I feel like sometimes like Great Value or the off brands are okay, and other times they just kind of miss the mark. I think that's why I like Winco, because for the most part, their store brand is pretty comparative, if not better, in some ways, because turnover at that store is freaking great. But we are going to need to do a re-up on shopping, guys. I am I am trying to keep this together, but we just got the car yesterday and we had to run that errand today, and I just don't have the time for running around yet. So we're going to probably end up doing like a midnight shopping run one of these days coming up. Oh, look at this. Isn't this nice? See, I totally time-lapsed you guys a minute, because that is not how fast onions caramelize, but just low and slow on the stove and let it go. I did toss in water at one point to help unstick it a little bit. Well, not unstick it, but just to get it going along. And we're going to set these aside now that they're done. But caramelized onions, I feel like that's a pizza topping, right? May or may not be able to taste a ton of onion, but that's okay. What's your topping, chat? Are you a lots of topping? Are you a little topping? So we have, I did dice up these peppers, by the way. I'm sure you guys noticed that I didn't leave them in long strips just because they're slightly easier to spread. And I know that the best friend enjoys when they are kind of more spread out versus here's a giant pepper and then you bite it, and then as you're biting it, it holds on to the cheese, and then half your pizza slice doesn't have cheese on it anymore. So this is just a personal choice for the user experience to have a better time with eating their pizza. This is how we are going to go. So our dough is has risen quite a bit, actually. I don't know if you guys can tell how much it's puffed up. It's definitely gotten real puffy. So we're going to get ready to do our pizza. It's kind of late, guys. Like, it's very late for me. I've been trying to eat slightly earlier, but yeah. I'm also going to take a note from some of these pizza places we've been to, and I'm going to build the pizza on a sheet of parchment paper, and that way when I put it in the stove, since I don't have a pizza peel, one of those fancy little what do you call them, fancy spoon type of things where they go under the pizza, and you can, or like a spatula basically. Since I don't have one of those, this allows me to maneuver the pizza without having one of those. So the recipe said to split it up and then to press your dough down. So I have split it up, and I'm going to press the dough down. For this time, normally I do like a thicker crust, but for this situation, I did want to do a thinner crust because Less crust is probably better, and I think it's slightly easier when you have more veg, less bread. And you get a larger pizza, right? So we're gonna spread this out. I've been preheating my little oven with my pizza stone in it, and it's spreading out, so that's always a good sign when it's spreading out. I think the last time I tried to make pizza, the dough wouldn't spread and it kept like shrinking back on itself. I was so defeated at one point, but yeah, it's spreading, it's staying. I'm doing my best to make it round-ish and hoping that this tastes okay, because if not, then I didn't plan a backup plan B thing. But yeah, I have my cheerleader kind of laughing at me because of my faces and whatnot. We're gonna wash our hands real quick, and then we'll put everything on because yeah, you should wash your hands. Look at this dough. It doesn't look too bad. I will say we'll call it rustic. It's a rustic pizza. Just like that's when like you go to a restaurant, and they're like a rustic dough, and it's like, oh, okay. It's just when you call it rustic, then people have less expectations of how your pizza's supposed to look. So we're going to wash my hands, and now we have our garlic oil, which I'm going to try and scoop up some of the garlic when I put it on here and just oil this dough just for some flavor. I also added some salt in this, but I didn't include it in the video. But just a little bit of extra flavor in this dough here, garlickiness. You guys know I love garlic, so appreciate the comment section though. You guys are amazing, and from the looks of it, strawberry season is upon us, so I will definitely be getting more strawberries and trying to do more strawberry recipes. Somebody mentioned like strawberry tarts or cookies or something. I was like, dang, that sounds good. Okay, so now we have our homemade pizza sauce. I think it looks okay. What do you get? Oh, like that looks like a pizza sauce you'd get from a place, right? That's not too bad. I'm trying to ask Mix while I'm making this, like, how much sauce do you want? How much? Oh, that's thick. How much? No, it's not. It's okay. I can spread it. Okay. Do you want, veggies? Do you want cheese? Do you want pizza's one of those, like, it's basically a sandwich. You can build it however you want. Trying to get as much crust, or not crust, as much sauce to the edge. I was like, it looks okay, right? I do appreciate that he is my food guinea pig. He says that I've never made him anything that was bad. Well, not never. There was one time there was something that I made, but it wasn't actually me making it. It was kind of like one of those instant kit things, and I was just like, I needed something to make. I didn't have groceries, and yeah, but see, he's telling me what to put in now. So we have our peppers. I'm putting them down in the sauce just so that I feel like they get a little bit more cooked when they're down here versus on the top where they just burn and sit there. But put peppers in, and considering putting the onions, but then realizing I don't want those to cook that much. I want them on the top, so we're just going to keep moving on, and we're going to put the cheese. This is like, they called it a pizza cheese blend. I don't know why it's a pizza cheese blend. It's got mozzarella, and I think it has provolone and like a little bit of Parmesan in it, but yeah, guys, how serious is pizza night in your house? It's not that serious here. But gonna try and put a generous amount of cheese on this because nothing sucks more than having a dry, non-cheesy pizza with way too much red sauce. It is so late and I'm so delusional, but I think it looks good. This whole process. Oh my goodness. little sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm kind of going a little crazy with the cheese, but I'm also not sure how this cheese is gonna melt or if it looks like it's enough or not. But I'm I'm going in on it. Why not? And then we'll do the pepperoni, the Kroger pepperoni. I will say, guys, splurge on your pepperonis if you can. Next time, I'm probably gonna try to get pepperoni from Trader Joe's. My sister said that her kids love Trader Joe's pepperoni and that she just buys the dough pre-made in the refrigerated section. So it comes as like a blob and you just take it out and you take it home and you form your pizza. But I will probably end up getting pepperoni from there if we decide to do another pizza night. Oh, that one was folded. It wouldn't look pretty, so we gotta make it look pretty. But yeah, I'm okay with this. It's all right. I know Mix likes pizzas, or not pizza, likes pepperoni, so we're just gonna put a lot of this on. It ended up being not super strong or even spicy or anything like that. So if you are, honest review of it, try to get a better brand than Kroger when it comes to pepperoni. Something about it was just like, it was there, but it wasn't really doing anything. And finally, we're going to add on our caramelized onions just because we can. And then, yeah, like, there we go. That's what I had. I would normally love to put things like artichokes or mushrooms or more garlic or what else? Gosh, what else do you put on pizza? I swear if you guys say pineapple, I mean, we do have it in the fridge, but no, it's not happening tonight. What else do you put? I've seen people put like bacon or chicken, sausages. Yeah, pizza's just one of those, like, it's like a sandwich vessel. You can just put everything in it. Oh, and I have this seasoning thing here from my spice rack, and it's called, oh no, this one's just oregano. And I asked Mix, I was like, you want to put oregano on? He's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, watch this. This is my little spicy. I'm a spice bay. No, has anybody been to those places where they do like not traditional red sauce and mozzarella pizza places? They have one near us. Oh my gosh, that place is so good. And it's not even like the barbecue chicken type of one. It's like a white sauce or olive oil and herb with all these different cheeses and all this. It is so good. Oh my goodness, it is so freaking good. But gosh darn it, the pizzas are so expensive. You have to be able to stretch it across a few days to make it worth it or be able to afford it. Okay, so here comes the process of me trying to finagle this pie into the oven. I don't know where to put my hands, but we're gonna slide it this way, and you see the stone in there. Pull the rack out and just kind of flop it on top, and then push it in, and hopefully it fits. Yeah, like that's pretty good. And the moment I put it on, it actually like sizzled a little bit, so I'm like, the stone is really hot. We're good. But yeah, we did a time lapse because it's already been a really long time for you guys for the reveal. And da 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 da, look at my pizza. I'll give you guys a nice little close. Like that's not bad. That looks edible. I need to add some oil onto this, so let's put a little bit of garlic oil on that crust, give it that fast food shine, because extra flavor and extra oil. And this pizza is actually for Mix, so we're gonna do that, and then cut it up into little slices here. I do want to say, again, guys, I say this every time, really appreciate all the support, all of the new subscribers or subs. welcome in. I hope this isn't disappointing you, but this is kind of the jazz of what's happening. I am literally just in my little apartment and trying to cook meals, do the best that I can with what we have from the equipment we have. And oh my goodness, I hate these pizza roller things. Um, I can't cut this thing. I need just like I need a real knife. But just trying to do the best of what I have in my apartment. I am a big foodie and I love foodie, so I love food. I love food. Goodness gracious. I love food and I enjoy making food for other people and kind of just trying to do things so that it's enjoyable. Food should be enjoyable and I definitely live to eat. So looking at the apartment as it is, that's it. It's not glamorous. It's not one of those high class kitchens, but yeah, we'll see. Things can change. We can try to decorate a little bit maybe. I don't know. Here's my cheese pool. And that's it, guys. I'll see you later. Goodbye.